The most expensive is a signed Beatles album. This is signed by all four Beatles.
Wow.
My name is Wayne Johnson. I'm the co-owner of Rockaway Records, which started in 1979 with my brother Gary.
Awesome, awesome. And I see you have some really amazing records here today. Do you have a favorite?
Well, the most expensive is a signed Beatles album, signed Hard Day's Night album. We're asking.
I see you have a lot of Beatles, so.
Yeah, Beatles has been our specialty.
Okay.
This is signed by all four Beatles.
Wow.
Been authenticated by the best Beatles expert in the world.
Do you know what year they signed it, or what
in
era?
1964.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about this piece, or?
Not much. Well, actually, let me see here.
Kind of speaks for itself, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not much to know. I don't know the circumstances of signing.
No worries.
Except the expert who authenticated it, he said it was signed in 64.
And how did you come into possession of it?
A collector that needed money and sold us this, as well as, I think, 3 other signed items.
Is this the most expensive record you've ever sold?
Oh, no.
What's?
We sold a copy of Rubber Soul signed by the Beatles for $115,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
And also, the most expensive item we sold was a drawing that was done by the Beatles. That we sold for $200,000.
Wow, amazing. Is that available? Like, can you see that online, just like to what that drawing looks like, or?
Yeah, most likely you can.
Nice.
It was something the Beatles drew for the Monterey Pop Festival.
Okay.
They were invited to attend the Monterey Pop Festival, but turned it down. Instead, made this drawing and sent it to Dirk Keller,
that's awesome.
who was the promoter of the show.
That's cool.
It's actually pictured in the programs for the Monterey Pop Festival.
Amazing. I see you have a couple Butcher's covers.
Oh, right.
Can you tell me a little bit about those? For the uninitiated, what do those mean to like vinyl collectors?
Okay, well, yeah, it's interesting that most people don't know the story. But in 1966, this album was supposed to come out looking like this. At the very last minute, Capitol Records said to the Beatles, "Come on, we can't release this. Look at it. Looks like a bunch of cut up dead
It's
babies."
crazy for the 60s.
So at the very last minute, they withdrew this record. They had 1 million of them pressed. They sent it back to the factory and pasted this cover on top of it.
Okay. So yeah, I know how. So if you're explaining to someone that might find one, how can someone tell if they have a Butcher cover?
Look right here. See that little black V?
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. Okay.
That there.
Do you ever do you recommend if someone got this to tear it up so they can see? No.
People ruin them.
Yeah.
And they're worthless.
Okay.
I mean, once they're peeled in bad condition, I sell them for maybe $300 or $400.
Right.
This one's been peeled by a professional, and it's $4,500.
Right.
That's the difference condition makes. And this has been peeled. This is, even though this looks like what you call a first date Butcher cover, the way they originally came out, those are super, super rare.
Sure. Okay.
Because out of the 1 million that were made, 99.9% had this cover pasted on top of it. That's why this is called a second state Butcher cover. This is a third state Butcher cover.
Gotcha.
And as opposed to what most people think, they're not that rare.
Right.
They're expensive.
Really?
Well, because they're so. The thing that sets the price is rarity and demand. This has so much demand. Even non-Beatle collectors want it, so the price is staying high.
That's amazing.
The really expensive ones are the first state ones.
Right.
Because they're so rare. I sold
and then do you have one with you, or?
I don't have a first state at the moment.
It.
Those are really rare. I sold one once for $80,000.
Wow.
It was still sealed.
What kind of person was buying? What was buying that? Just like a collector, or?
Yeah, collectors, and now I think there's people from other than record collectors getting into the hobby.
Okay.
Because as expensive as these Beatle records are, compared to every other collectible, they're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Baseball cards have sold for $12 million.
Right.
A Pokemon card sold for, I think, $500,000. So this stuff is cheap, and I think most collectors think it's going to be a good investment.
Yeah.
I mean, that Beatles record I sold for $80,000. In the early days, in the 80s, I remember a collector paid $4,000 for one,
Okay,
and everybody
yeah.
thought it was crazy to pay that much.
What year? When did you sell that $80,000 one?
About 5 years ago.
Okay,
And
yeah.
and to be honest with you, I would buy it back today for $80,000.
Sure, yeah.
I'd get at least 100 for it today.
So you seem to specialize in a lot of signed albums.
Yeah.
Is that like how do those usually get signed? Is it just like backstage or like in the
Yeah, I buy a lot of them from people who worked in the industry.
Cool.
Who
Gotcha.
worked with these groups, because the autograph business, it's a great business, but it's filled with fraud.
Sure. Yeah.
I would guess that 80% of the autographs on eBay are phony.
Okay.
I turn down most autographs I get offered.
Do you have any stories of like? Are there any interesting stories behind like the moment they were autographed? Any albums that you have in particular, or were they just sort of something that happened quickly in passing, or?
Nothing that comes to mind.
No worries. You got a really amazing collection. How did you start getting into vinyl yourself?
Kind of a hobby that grew and grew.
Yeah.
Like we attended a record swap meet in Hollywood called the Capitol Swap Meet.
Okay.
It was an unorganized monthly swap meet in the parking lot next to the Capitol Records building.
Okay.
Nobody organized it, but it just happened. And people would park, pay $5 to park, open their trunk and sell records. And one night my brother and I went there and opened our eyes.
That's
we
amazing.
discovered a world of collectibles.
What's the most you've spent on records in maybe one?
Well, I bought a Beatles collection a couple of years ago. We paid almost $1 million for it.
Amazing. Wow. What made that collection special?
Probably 10 sets of autographs, 20,000 Beatle records, 150 butcher covers involved.
What was the person like? Who did you buy it off?
He was a
of?
dealer.
Wow, amazing.
I take that back. He was a dealer collector.
Okay,
He
yeah.
loved his stuff. So
Amazing.
he priced everything at 2 or 3 times what it was worth.
Right.
So he never sold a lot. So he accumulated and kept everything.
Amazing. This is very cool. All right. Well, my last question is, with everything going on in the economy right now, how would you say like vinyl collecting is as like an indicator of like where the economy is
Still going strong.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's going to continue, but still going strong. But this business is always changing.
Yeah.
Like now, as much as I love Beatles and classic rock stuff, I have to be honest and say the hottest sellers these days, grunge and punk.
Oh yeah.
The 90s market is incredible.
Okay.
I mean, that stuff sells so much quicker than, the Beatles stuff.
Yeah.
I listed a signed Nirvana photo on our website for $10,000, sold within an hour.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nirvana's so hot, punk is hot.
Do you have a huge like shoulda, woulda, coulda record that you like almost got and you didn't? You like a biggest regret that you didn't get it?
Not really. A couple things I wish I saved instead of sold.
Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, the best thing was probably 1980, a lithograph that was done by Andy Warhol
Okay.
of Mick Jagger, signed by Mick Jagger and Andy Warhol. I think I paid $800 for it. Was hoping to get $1,500. Sat for almost a year. Nobody wanted it. Finally, somebody offered me what I paid for it. I said, take it away. Today, they sell for about $150,000.
Oh my God.
Nobody wanted it back then.
I feel like that's the nature of the business though. It's like that was in the 80s. Like you never know what's going to change and like
Exactly.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of changes. Like the punk stuff especially. 10 years ago, I was selling the Misfits first single for $1,000. Sold one last year for $12,000.
Wow. This Jim Morrison book of poetry is really incredible.
Yeah.
How'd you come in
Only
possession?
100 made.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it came from a Doors collector, unfortunately, who passed away.
Okay.